Hello, my name is Dardarji, and welcome to TransformationalSpirituality.com's Minicast, where personal development and spirituality intersect. Our Minicast are designed to give you the tips, tools, and techniques that you can use starting today to live a more abundant and prosperous life. And now, here's today's Minicast. Personal magnetism, how to make yourself memorable. Have you ever had the experience of meeting someone for the first time and being totally captivated by their personal magnetism and excitement for life? These type of people create an instant good impression on you and as a result become memorable. Being a memorable person means being an unforgettable person. And it doesn't take a genius to recognize the advantage of developing an extraordinary, pleasing persona in relation to your business and career, as well as with your everyday personal relationships. The wonderful thing is that you can hack the learning curve in developing your personal magnetism and charisma by applying a few overlooked strategies in your everyday personal interactions with everyone you come into contact with. Cesar Pavese once said, "We do not remember days, we remember moments." How then can you become the type of person that creates memorable moments? A person who is compelling and charismatic? Here are a few useful and effective ways to get you started. Number 1, live with passion. A memorable person enjoys life and living and shares that passion in everything he or she says or does. Their body language, words, and expressions are those of enthusiasm and joy, and that zeal radiates out to everyone they come into contact with. This type of fervor is contagious and shifts people's emotional state to one of positive receptivity. Modern psychology teaches that the most effective form of influence is learning how to shift and control a person's emotional state. The easiest way to do this is to make sure that you lead first with a positive and uplifting emotional state that you would like others to respond to. Number 2, be a great listener. Being a great listener means being genuinely interested in other people. Years ago, when I was a young attorney attempting to procure clients, I did what most newbie businessmen and women do. I read books and attended courses that would help me to increase my bottom line. One of the books I read was a classic by Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. One of the chapters shares this important point of becoming sincerely interested in people. Carnegie states that one of the first ways to do this is by learning to become a great listener. I decided to put this insightful tip to the test one night as I met a potential client for dinner. This client was dubbed the Geezer Grouch by some of my colleagues who were unsuccessful in acquiring his business. Usually I was the one who led and controlled the conversation, but on this particular night I decided to just listen and ask questions. The results I had were absolutely shocking. My potential client, an older gentleman, was a successful business manufacturer who owned several manufacturing plants throughout the country. I began our dinner by asking him a simple question. How did you get interested in your type of work? 3 hours seemed to vanish as this gentleman shared with me a fascinating, rag-to-riches story, gave me some valuable tips on business success, shared with me the titles of some great self-improvement books, and in the end, not only did this gentleman become one of my regular clients, but also sent to me several lucrative referrals. At the end of our dinner, he shook my hand and told me, "You know, you're a great conversationalist." Yet all I had done throughout our entire meal was just to listen and to ask him questions. Number 3, share your adventures with others. Tell a great story. People have been telling and listening to stories since the dawn of time, And people love to hear stories that encourage, inspire, and motivate them. Everyone remembers a great story. When you share your stories with other people, you become memorable because stories keep people engaged in the moment-by-moment drama. Professional speaker Patricia Fripp says, "Stories are the creative conversion of life itself into a more powerful, clearer, more meaningful experience." Great stories move, entertain, instruct, and inspire people to increase the quality of their lives. I have a journal, and I enjoy recording things that I encountered during the day that were funny, motivating, inspiring, encouraging, or that have emotionally moved me in some ways. These experiences are either personally observed or personally experienced, but they always have a positive outcome. Share your great life stories with others, but here's one caveat. People want to hear stories about the fabulous, and if you want to be memorable and to influence others, you need to omit stories of failure unless they have a positive outcome. Being a memorable person means being an influential person. Groom personal magnetism and charisma daily by applying these effective strategies in your interpersonal relationships until they become a habit. You will not only find your sphere of influence increasing each day, but also find that your life is more interesting, personally enriched, and financially prosperous as well. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this minicast, and if you'd like to find out more about us, visit us at www.transformationalspirituality.com, where you can find free ebooks, audio downloads, and tons of informative articles on success, spirituality, self-improvement, and prosperity. My name is Dartaji, and I'll meet you at the next minicast. Namaste.